Absolutely,
I'm
absolutely.
Trina.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for finding me.
I am Juanita, and yes, I'm glad that I found you. So yes,
Yeah. So
it was fun. Yeah.
what attracted you to sign up for this? You're like, yeah, let me do this.
Just the, you know what? The energy, the fact that um there's a lot of spiritual energy, and there's just so when I kind of came across your event, I was like, wow, I need to check this out. And kind of, I'm always learning, so it's always nice. So, and just, how to kind of be a little bit more calmer in myself
Mm,
and be able to kind of learn that way as well is just how to utilize kind of because I am typically a go, 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 go kind of
mm.
person. And that's something that I am looking to change. So,
Oh,
yeah.
I love that. So this
Mhm.
is my first Awaken and Align live. I am
Mhm.
planning on hosting these every Tuesday for my
Mhm.
community. My goal is to bring spiritual people together who wants to have more calmness, dive a little deeper, be with other amazing high vibrating human beings, because when we all do this together, we learn from one another, we bounce off
Mhm.
each other's energy, and it does a lot of upgrading to us. So I really want to create a space where we can get to know one another, socialize a bit, because one of the things I hear a lot from my clients that I work with is I'm kind of alone in this. Nobody really understands this. Nobody really follows this. Nobody really wants to go to this depth, right? Sometimes we even get the stares from the people that we know, like we have horn comings out of our head. Right? It's like, Trina, what are you talking about? So this is
Right.
really an invitation to step into a space of connection, and meditation, and growth with like-minded souls. So hopefully some clarity, some support, and just a peaceful time. I call it a time in. This was coined by me and another business partner I had. A time into yourself is something that
Mhm.
is so important. It came out of timeout. I
Mhm.
learned adult timeouts when my kids were little. And I was like, wow, why didn't I not know about that before, right? I always blame the kids. The kids need to be more calm, right? Until I realized, wait a minute, it's all
Wait
backwards.
a minute. Yeah,
All backwards.
exactly. Mhm.
So I started putting myself in timeout,
Mhm.
knowing that when I get to a place where I'm not functioning, my connection is going with the person I'm in. I need to recenter myself. This is about me.
Mhm.
This is not about them. I mean, they're doing their own thing, right? They also have a thing they need to work out, right? By the end of the day, it's
Exactly.
me.
It is. Yes.
It's my responsibility to calm down, not my external to change. So I was good at reassuring them that I was not going to be gone for long. Mommy's
Mhm.
going to be in the bedroom for a little bit.
Mhm.
Where are you going? I'm sorry. It's not your fault. I need to come in and I need to become a better version of myself. And they learned that pretty quickly, that when I went in and closed the door and said, I'll be right back, they just went on playing and they calmed themselves down. I calmed myself down. I came back out and I was a much more effective parent. So
Mhm.
we're bringing this into the human context here of taking a time in. We need to do that on a regular basis. So we can call these
Absolutely.
Awaken and Align lives, we can call them a time in because you
Mhm.
prioritize yourself. You connect on a deeper level, which we don't always give ourselves permission to or allow ourselves to do or find time for us to do through
Yes.
throughout the day. So sometimes clicking on an event like this
Mhm.
is accountability for us to show up as who we
Mhm.
are, and and find that space of peace. I love that. There's layers. So I just recorded a podcast episode with Katie Mack. We talk about remembering ourselves, really getting deeper into the you inside you. That's what my podcast is called. Finding those layers of the you inside you, there's always new spaces to discover. And I love that
Mhm.
so much that as soon as we allow ourselves to really connect with who we are, there's so many nuances, there's so many parts of really of our human self. It's really, you know, our inner self, but it comes out in our personality, right? There's new skills that kind of come out, new gifts, new awarenesses, and we're like, oh, I never knew I could do that or feel like that. Or does
Mhm.
that happen to you sometimes?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's that was actually I wanted to just make that one point is that that was also one of the reasons why I had clicked on your lives is because if I commit to it to
Mm,
show up somewhere else to do this, then I mean selfishly, it is making that time also for myself.
yeah.
So it was like when that was one of the other reasons is that it was like, okay, so if I do this, then instead of it, you know what? I'll do this in like 10 minutes. I'll do this later. Oh, I gotta do this. So I'll do it in the afternoon and then I'll do it in the evening. Okay, well, now it's bedtime. I gotta go to bed. Like, but yeah, like I do find more and more that there are different layers that when I slow down long enough
Mm,
to listen and go into meditation, it's like, oh,
mm,
it's it's like an onion. You know, there's so many different layers and hey, I have the strength to do that or I discover something different about myself or something I'm willing to release. Last night being the full moon, it was like, oh yeah, it was releasing this and releasing that. And it was, yeah, absolutely.
yeah, it's special. It's special when we get into that space where we really can hear
Hmm.
the inner guidance. We kind of get beyond the chatter of the to-do list and I gotta go do this and the self-judgment and all the things that
Hmm.
trip us up sometimes. um, when we finally sit, and this happens sometimes for me even when I'm out of meditation, because I've meditated for many years and I find myself getting into a meditative state in sometimes just like doing laundry. In the shower it happens a lot for me, or even the kind of like the dozing off at the end of the night, you know, that twilight
Hmm.
space,
Yeah.
which really is kind of a form of meditation. I get all these ideas. I'm like, gotta write down right now. Usually business ideas. In the shower, it's
Yeah.
more, it can be spirits sometimes like coming to me, or like it can be
Hmm.
higher guidance, some really phenomenal messages of directions I need to go. So, you know, people listening into this, just pay attention, you know, in those moments of stillness, taking these times in, at times where there is quiet in the house and quiet in your space. Just check in. What's happening inside of my body right now? And we can kind of do like a conscious check-in right now, and then I want to go into a brief meditation,
Sure.
and then we'll see where we go after that. um, so bringing ourselves present really is connecting with our body. So to try to disconnect our mind, a bit. We need to be focused on what's happening in the room right now. Often we can do that by even observing and seeing things, which if I really need to get in a moment, I see a lamp, I see my water bottle, I see my microphone, I see my computer
Mhm.
screen, because as soon as we occupy that space in our brain, there's really not much room for any anxious or worrying thoughts, about past and future. So this is really that mindfulness skill of focusing on our senses. But what I want to do right now is really want you to bring awareness to the body. You guys can close your eyes for a moment and just noticing what's happening in your body right now. It can be anything, such as there's a little bit of tension here, or my body is feeling pretty strong today. There might be some kind of nervous energy somewhere. There's no right or wrong in this. This is all observation. It's all noticing, using your curiosity. The more attention that we give these areas in our body, the more present you will be with what is alive in you right now. Remember, there's no right or wrong. There just is at this moment. And you don't have to change anything either. Just kind of be with what is. And then in time ends, a lot of times it's important too to pay attention to your emotions and your thoughts. So these are the three things that we kind of check in on. Because if we're in a kind of a stressful and pressured moment and we're taking a brief time in, we want to connect with the body first, see what's alive. Because sometimes we have a little tension in our stomach or in our throat. So just kind of notice where your thoughts are right now. What are they doing? Are they judging them at the moment? Are they just going back to your to-do list? There's no right or wrong. It's just curiosity, kind of seeing where they're at. And then what kind of emotions go with that? Are you feeling peaceful, appreciative? Is there some worry, some frustration? All right, just take a deep breath. Open up your eyes. Just want to check in. What was that like for you?
Peaceful.
Peaceful. Yeah.
Peaceful. It was um at the beginning of kind of checking in, I felt slouch. Like I felt kind of slouched down. And then as the more breathing that I did, my back started to like straighten and I started to feel taller
Mm.
and but at the same time also just peaceful, just
Mm.
light. And it was kind of like, okay, it's like a stretch and not lighter. When I started out as kind of slouchy, it kind of felt like heavy, constricted. And then as I was breathing through and scanning, it was taller and lighter.
I love that. I love that. So there's no expectation during these time ins. The goal with the
Mhm,
time ins is just observation. And I love how you just explained everything that you noticed and everything you
mhm,
observed. Sometimes things change, sometimes they don't. That's
mhm,
not the goal with the time in for us to really just check in at any time during the day, especially when we find ourselves maybe not breathing as deeply, maybe getting a little overwhelmed, what we call stressed out.
Mhm.
Those are
Yeah.
the times where we really need to check in. What's happening with me? Do I need to take a time out, a time in for myself and actually like removing myself from a situation? Do I need to take a break? Or can I just be with what's happening right now? Can I just breathe through whatever is happening right now and get more present and actually get to peace really quickly, which you were able to do just by tuning in? You actually
Mm.
shifted in that
Yeah.
moment, which also tells me that you have some experience with this. And it doesn't take us long. For me in the beginning, I felt nothing. I'm telling you, I would
Mhm.
like do mindfulness. I would sit and meditate. I get out of it. I'm like, Trina, you're so bad at meditating. You were thinking the whole time, blah, 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 you know? And I probably did that almost for a year. But I knew
Mhm.
I had to continue to do it, and I'm still meditating, and I started feeling different, after
Mhm.
I started with kind of 20 minutes of meditation. I started a guided meditation first, then I did the deeper meditations. But it was a real struggle to put the judgment away
Yes.
because I wanted it to be a certain way. Isn't that the same with so many things in our lives, right? That we kind of like give up, or we're too hard on ourselves. And it's like, yeah, it's too much
Mhm.
work. And then we abandon it. But it's like, this is like our biggest tool. This is the best gift that we can give ourselves is actually this
Mhm.
check-in and being present with ourselves.
Mhm.
I was meeting with a therapist yesterday, my therapist,
Mhm.
and she was kind of calling out, Trina, you're really good at giving to your children what you also need, but you don't do it to yourself, right? I'm like, man, she's right. I'm I'm st- I'm still I'm still working at it, right? We
Mhm.
hear somebody, we see their needs, we know what they need probably before they do, and I just
Mhm.
I just jump to it.
Yep.
And it's easy, right?
Yep.
And
Absolutely. But
now we
then
check
giving
in
to
with
yourself.
ourselves and we check in and we're like, well, I kind of need to sleep. I don't have time for it. And then I
Yeah.
kind of like need to say no to this, but I can't really because I've already committed to it. And I kind of need to just rest my legs right now, but I really need to cook dinner because otherwise, nobody's going to cook dinner and who else is going to be there? So it's all on me, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah,
Very
you're
much so.
nodding a lot,
Very much so.
Juanita.
Yeah, been there, still do that.
Yeah.
Um, Meditation to start with for me was admittedly a disaster. It was like I would sit there and I would try and I would like have everything, perfect. And everything, I'm sitting, I'm good. And then all of a sudden the laundry list would start. And I'm just like, no, 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 push it away, push it away. And then I'm like, all of a sudden I'll put that away. And then a tune will come into my head. And I'm like, no, 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 no. Go back to what you're supposed to be doing. And then and I would probably struggle for about 10 minutes. And then I'd be just like, okay, you know what? You're not any good at this. Like, let's just try this later because you can't, number one, you can't sit still because then my butt would start to feel like it's like, okay, now I'm uncomfortable. Now I'm like, okay, stop moving. And I
Mm.
had, I had the ego mind or misjudge, sitting there going, you're supposed to sit still. And I'm like, "Shh, shh, shh, go away. And that exactly. And so, I mean, probably for at least the first 6 months, I was just like, okay, you're terrible at this. Like, this is not there are people who are so like they can get into this and they're so focused, and it's like, and I have like the Energizer Bunny going off in my head. Like there's too many things. And then it was like, I heard this from somebody who was honest about their own journey of meditation. And I was like, what? I'm like, wow, okay, so this is normal. Like, not everybody gets it like right off the bat. And that changed. So
Mm,
for me, that changed kind of the trajectory of where I went with meditation. It was like, okay, it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it's a practice.
mm.
So it's not perfection. And
I love
yeah,
it. I love
it
it.
was
This
it
is so
was yeah.
powerful because
Mhm,
everybody listening to this who has had any kind of experience with meditation can totally relate to what you're talking about. And I think
yeah.
a lot of people have a version of that. And if you're not heard it yet, people
Hmm.
listening to this or catching the replay, this is normal. It's
Hmm.
not supposed to look a certain way, especially not in the beginning. There's
Yes.
no there's no disaster happening. This is what is supposed to be. This is what's expected.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
about to launch a monthly meditation circle. I'm going to start off online, and eventually going to be in my local area here in Tampa, Florida. And what I'm really, really hoping is how I can normalize this for everybody, because the judgment and how hard I was on myself, probably the first couple of years,
Hmm.
even when people were kind of normalizing for me, I did not hear it. All right.
Hmm.
This is hard work. This is like learning a new language. We were not
Yeah.
wired. We didn't learn to meditate. I didn't learn to meditate growing up. Nobody talked about it. When my mom kind of went
Hmm.
into alternative therapy and alternative medicine and in my teens, people thought I had like a woo-woo mother, like she's doing like hocus pocus stuff. And I was totally bought into it. And I loved it. It was like about the meridians and the chakras and all that good stuff, right?
Yeah.
Reflexology. And it was just not cool back then.
No,
I
no,
thought it was
no, no.
cool.
Oh,
And
yeah.
meditation, a lot of people hear about it, and a lot of people know they need to do it, because I knew for many years I probably could benefit from it. But the
Hmm.
how to is so intangible. It's hard to wrap your mind around it, because we just want to look for kind of a 2 + 2 is 4. Like we want some kind of outcome. All right. So
Hmm.
now we're going to meditate. And the goal is, for the people that may not be as experienced, is that you really just have to sit and focus on my voice. You just have to focus. I will guide you through it. If you find your mind drifting, that's normal. Thank goodness your mind is alive. The goal is not to empty your mind. Your
Hmm.
thoughts will always be there. With practice and with
Hmm.
time, they will become more and more in the background, like clouds passing by. They're never really going to be gone, but you're just going to get better at focusing. You really just narrow things down. It's not by emptying, it's really just a narrow focus where everything kind of zones out around you. All right. So the goal is just really just to sit and be. As soon as you get distracted, come back to my voice or come back to your breathing. Those are the two things that you can focus on. All right. So I invite everybody to find a comfortable place to sit. If you're driving, please pull over and get yourself to a standstill before you meditate.
Hmm.
And just take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth, inviting you into a space of relaxation, into deepening, into your inner world, your true self, your you inside you, into the appreciation and awareness of this moment. I just want you to notice your breathing for a moment, moving in and out of your nostrils. Chest is rising and falling. Just allow your breath to have a normal rhythm. You don't have to do anything to change it. Just allow it to be. I want you to gather all your energy into your heart and bring that energy down through your body, down through your legs, all the way down to your feet, and continue down through the soles of your feet into the earth. And gather up that beautiful grounded earth and energy from Mother Earth. And bring that energy back up through the soles of your feet, up through your legs, through your body, balancing all the chakras, all the way up through the crown of your head into a beautiful ball of light. And imagine that you're in this ball of light. Notice what color it is. And in this ball of light, I want you to travel up through the sky, past the clouds, the stars, the planets, through the universe, passing through layers and layers of light. Now passing through a golden light. And through a jelly-like substance like water. And up into a beautiful white iridescent light. And move deep into this beautiful, sparkling white light. It's almost like snow. Just notice how this unconditional love, creator of all that is, allows you to completely relax, feel at peace, fully enveloped, this beautiful energy, and allowing your bubble to dissipate as you become one with this light. Thank you for my life. Thank you for who I am. And thank you for what I'm becoming. I just want you to be in this space for a minute. And allow yourself to connect deeply with this high level of love and compassion. Maybe even connect deeply within and see if there's a message for you for today. Something you really need to hear. These messages comes from your core, your being, the you inside you. At first, it might just seem like we're making it up. Eventually, we learn to trust that those random voices that just come in, they don't always make sense, but they're very subtle. And they're very quiet and they're very soft. It's our core being speaking to us. We can also call it higher awareness or God, angels, masters. And we say thank you. I have full appreciation of this moment of stillness. Noticing how our body has slowed down and our cells are vibrating a little higher, but with calmness and ease. And take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Slowly bring some movement into your hands, into your legs, your feet. Bring your awareness back into your seat, into your space. And when you're ready, you can open up your eyes. Welcome back. How was that?
Beautiful. Much easier. I do find that more guided meditation helps. Again, it helps to keep me focused when I try to do my own meditation, because even though bringing, if my thoughts start to wander, it's bringing it back to my breath. But it is easier at times, especially if there's a lot going on or I'm struggling to find that quiet space. It is so much easier for me to get to that quiet space in my mind, actually, when I'm listening to someone else,
Yes.
because then there isn't a competition
Mm.
going on in my mind for who gets to have my attention.
Yes, I can totally relate to that. And
Mhm.
very, very common, very common. Also
Mhm.
depends on how much you have going on in your life. There are just times where the quiet
Mhm.
meditations are just so much harder because we are really in a kind of a high state of planning or juggling stuff in our lives. Completely normal. The
Mhm.
guided meditation, depending on who is guiding it as well, can also help you get into the state. So I
Yeah.
guided you to a theta state. This is the
Yes.
highest or the deepest level of meditation that I guide my clients into. So
Mhm.
I also provide a space, not just that you are focused on my voice, but energetically, I provide a space for you to make it easier. Hence having this group, which I'm so excited about. And I can't wait for more people to join this, for you guys to really, really feel this energy. And even if you're catching the replay, you're going to be feeling the energy. You're going to be in that space because energy goes through time and space. I am still providing that space for you. So my meditation circles, we're going to go in even deeper. It's going to be into being better at meditating. So if you're like want to be better at meditating, you can join these monthly groups that I'm starting. I'm also starting a more intensive group for women who want to have a continuous support group, um, where we have a topic every session. There would be coaching from me. There would be more hot seat opportunities where we dive into some struggles that we hiccups that we sometimes get into. I call
Yeah.
that conscious connection. So I'm launching that too, and it's going to kind of piggyback off of this live I'm doing. This live is going to be meditation, socializing, being with other people. Conscious connections is going to be um, more into the integration, the hands-on, some of the tools and stuff like that. So that's a little bit of what else that you can dive into and what else I offer. And so far, I am just loving this first
Mhm.
Awaken and Align. This is like super successful, and I really love your energy, Juanita. And I'm
Thank
so glad that
you.
you
Thank
came
you so much.
in. You just bring
Mhm.
so much joy and presence
Thank you.
and
Mhm.
light to this.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this because it is incredible. And I hope more and more people recognize and join us next week. And I can't wait for next week's session because this has been amazing. Thank you so much for providing this space, providing this time. This is incredible.
Thank you, Juanita.
Mhm.
All
You're
right,
very welcome.
guys, this is it for this time. We'll be on again next Tuesday, 11:30 Eastern Standard. You can
Mhm.
join me. If you get hiccups trying to get in, I will try my best to make sure that the Zoom link is, is clearly out there. If I'm live, great. Thank you so much for joining me. And if
Mhm.
any questions or you're interested in any of the other things that I have to offer, just reach out to me on a personal message. And otherwise,
Mhm.
be well, and I'll see you
Perfect.
guys next week.
Perfect.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.